Hello, host Derek here, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. I'd like to talk for a moment about the ISFP personality type. It's a type I haven't talked about before, and I'm pretty familiar with it. I believe I understand it well. I believe I understand individuals of this type clearly. And I'd like to go over what I believe is their nature. If you have an ISFP in your life, or if you are an ISFP, this is what I think your cognitive functions say about you. So, first of all, your cognitive functions are stay, proceed, finalize, and push. That's introverted feeling. That's upside down. Yeah, introverted feeling, SE, FI. Extroverted sensing, SE. Introverted intuition, NI. And extroverted thinking, TE. So I call those functions stay, proceed, finalize, and push. You might also call them whatever other names you want. Okay? But functionally, for the system purpose, I believe that that's their role. So if you think of a system as comprised of different vectors, basically, these would be the different vectors. You can consider finalize complete as well. All right, so ISFP, let's start with there. Let's start with the intuition. I think it's a good place to start with each type because I believe intuition to be reflective of an individual's orientation towards truth. So as an introverted intuitor, you're going to believe truth is discovered, not created, okay? So this is going to resonate well with your value-driven, introverted, feeling leading personality type. It means that you become quite certain about your core values, unshakably so. All right, there are some. Let's go up to the first function, then, the introverted feeling. Now, while I believe I understand how you guys are in the world, um, from a behavioral standpoint, I cannot claim to understand your dominant function introverted feeling very well. I do know that it seems to me as though there is a persistent desire on the part of the ISFP to set things up such that their feelings become more clear and remain clear over the long haul, such that because if you talk to an ISFP, they're really lost in time. They are in the moment entirely, and they don't view themselves necessarily as contiguous beings across time. The reason for this being, of course, leading with FI means they see themselves as influx, as a fault. You know that their default nature should be static, but it's not, and that disturbs them. They'd like to lock down their feelings, or at least make them more predictable. They're very comfort driven. They're very egoless. When you talk to an ISFP, they don't think about things in terms of pride about accomplishments or competition or anything like that. They are desiring to fit in as comfortably with the existing system as possible and to see their feelings stabilized and to see the values that they have made from those feelings represented well in the world. They are very comfort driven, like I said. If I didn't say it, if I might have said it already. Oh, they're easily controlled by others. It's true. The ISFP's got a weird thing going on. The SE proceed is also a bit of a conquer function. Okay, so SE is to proceed. It's to eat up ground, to subsume, to conquer. You know, and it's not the same thing as push, which is like to direct or to manage or to order, organize, implement, like those sort of things. Proceed's a little different. It's executing. So, at any rate, they stay first. First and foremost, they are the force of resistance. Second, ISFP, you proceed, which means You carry out with the status quo. When I say the force of resistance, what that means is you are unshakable in your core values, and if they are challenged, you will not budge. You don't handle pushing well. You don't want to push back. See, it's not stay, right? That's why it's the inverse proportional stay. You don't want to use TE. You don't like using TE. You don't feel comfortable with it at all. Some people call you passive or avoidant, but really what they're saying is you are a dominant stay function. So, and the extent to which you're pushy is inversely proportional with that. ISFPs are not pushy in the slightest bit in the world. The least pushy people in the world. They are mysterious. They're mysterious. I don't get them in terms of like connecting with them. One thing I've noticed happens with me with ISFPs, I read some sort of hidden, subtle, intuitive meaning into things that just isn't there. They say what they mean what they say, and it's very straightforward. There's no hidden agenda beneath anything. There isn't. There's no subtext. None. There's no ego. They're troubled by long-form questions. Like, well, how would you anticipate you're going to feel about that in a year? This troubles them. I don't think they like to think about their feelings on that long-term scale. I think sort of intuitively they know that their feelings are never going to stop moving around. And it troubles them. They don't have any existential fears. I asked one about her post-life thing, about her sort of, why aren't you curious about what would happen? She sort of said, thought about it for a second, like it had never occurred to her to even think about it before, right? I mean, this one I was talking to is, or was, or is religious of some sort of Christian, and that never came up though. I mean, not openly at all, but when I asked her about like, well, aren't you curious about what happens after death? She's like, no. Oh, well, are you scared of death? And the answer I got is, well, no, I'm not scared of death. I'm scared of pain, though. Very scared of pain. It's like, huh. I mean, she was in a nursing kind of a thing. So, understandably. They're gentle. They're gentle people. They're kind. They're both moody and predictable. Moody when they get uncomfortable. In this way, they're exactly the same as the ENTP, which is we don't like discomfort either. I get moody and I get fussy when I get uncomfortable. And I mean, I think it's the definition of uncomfortable, right? You're in discomfort, but some people bear it with more of a troopery status than others. I don't. ISFPs don't. Sex is a body pleasure thing for an ISFP, not about talking or anything like that. You know, it's like shh. They're not interested much in abstractions. Stay the course, follow the rules. Their motivational aspect is their intuition, their third slot. I find this interesting. I'm not quite sure what it would be like to have intuition lower in the stack. I've got a theory, though, that... Alright, so we know that NE and NI are... Or I know that. I mean, you know, I say that. My words are that NE is making truth and NI is discovering it, right? So think of my work like this. You got NE in your first slot. You default to I create truth. NE in the second slot, you default to I can create truth. NE in the third slot, you default to I want to create truth. And in the fourth slot, you default to I don't want to create truth. I want to just deal with other people's created truths. But I assume that those truths are created by someone. They have an attribution, maybe fallacy or maybe legitimate attribution to an agent, right? Okay, now let's think about in I. Well, you start with I. My job is to, I discover truth. Then if it's in the second slot, I can discover truth. In the third slot, I'd like to discover truth. In the fourth slot, I'd like to just find other people to discover truths. Well, here it's in the third slot. So there is a work in progress there aspect in ISFP that I think reflects in the fact that they want to manifest and see their values manifest in their lives. They want to have a healthy relationship. They want to have people whose feelings are respected. They want to have good, warm, positive interactions with the people in their lives. And they want to have physical pleasure. And they're satisfied with that entirely. That's about all I have to say about ISFPs. Except, I guess the last thing is, I feel a protective quality towards them. I want to help them develop more defenses, I guess, is what I feel towards ISFPs. They're good people. They're nice. I like them. They're strange. They're strange to be around. They make you simultaneously feel like the only adult in the pair and the only child in the pair at the same time. That's how they make you feel. Because on the one hand, they're not abstracting in the way that an intuitive thinker would, right? And on the other hand, they're mindful of themselves in the moment in a way that an ENTP can never even dream of. So it's weird. ISFP, you guys are weird. Meet one and you'll see what I'm saying about the egolessness and the weird location and time. Like there's solidity in the moment. It's weird. It'll freak you out a little bit. I don't know what the gender breakdown is, but the chicks are pretty sexy. But in a not very complimentary way with an introverted thinker, Like it doesn't like we're not meant to be with these people. We're just not meant to be with them. That's the bottom line. We're not meant to be with them. Although I do feel like I'm meant to continue to communicate with them and be friends with them and stuff and protect them if I can. A little bit, maybe. Without presuming too much, but they're vulnerable to manipulation. You guys are, or they are, or whatever. Be aware of that, okay? Be aware of that, and watch out for it.